Nebraska, a college football game of national dimension. The Washington Huskies, number 4. The Nebraska Cornhuskers, number 9. The winner will have a chance at a national championship. The loser, probably not. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. Pleasure to come back to one of our favorite cities, Lincoln, Nebraska, the home of the Huskers. We've got the Huskies and the Huskers in this one. And since Colorado beat Nebraska here a year ago, the tone has been set kind of for this game tonight, because the loyal partisans have been shouting loudly, it's time to win a big one. Let's find out if the Washington Huskies deserve to be number 4 in the land. Bob Greasy, what do you think?
Well, Tom Osborne is nothing short of the winningest active coach in Division I football, but he has lost 8 of the last 12 times he has played a team with a winning record, and he has lost the last 4 bowl games. Some of the fans and some of the players are beginning to question just how good this program is. They'll get a chance to prove it tonight against the Huskies of Washington. Look for this ball game tonight. Nebraska brings in the number 1 rushing offense in the country, and opposite them, Washington defensively is the number 1 rushing defense in the country. The key, obviously, in the offensive and defensive lines, whoever controls the line of scrimmage will win the ball game.
This series will end next year in Seattle, and that game may also be a very big one, because these two teams are, in fact, quite young. But this is a night for the Cornhuskers, they say, to make their point. I'm sure the Washington Huskies feel the same way. Coach Tom Osborne, his teams during his 18 seasons here have averaged 9 wins per year. They have been to 18 consecutive bowls, but lately they haven't won the big one. That sets the frantic tone for tonight's game between the Huskies and Huskers. Let's face it to say, this little store located right across from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln has been doing a land office business for the better part of today. You need some bucks, though, because it ain't cheap. Now let's check in with Jackaroo.
Keith, how many times have we talked about the 12th man, that home field advantage? Well, here at Memorial Stadium with 76,000 plus and so many sellouts, you would think that Coach Tom Osborne would have had the home field advantage. But he told us that in the last 10 years, he doesn't feel he's had it. So on Tuesday at his press conference, he issued a challenge to the fans here. He said, get into the game. Be more vociferous. Clap your hands. Wish us well as we try to go for a victory tonight. Now, I don't know about the Washington coach, Don James, whether he took it all to heart or not, but for the last 2 days, while they were practicing up at Husky Stadium, they played the Nebraska fight song over the track PA. And let me tell you right now, it is deafening down here, Keith.
I can tell. We're sitting on top of it. The area strengths and weaknesses as Nebraska receives.
Well, we told you they led the nation in rushing, 573 yards on the average. And for the University of Washington, they gave up only 67 yards per game last year.
Nate Turner, number 22, Tyrone Hughes, number 33, will receive the ball for the Cornhuskers. Travis Hansen will kick it off for the Washington Huskies. The temperature is 73 degrees. The wind is gusting up to 30 miles an hour, and the wind carries the ball almost into the stands as Hansen kicks it off. So they'll bring it out to the 20. It is very comfortable temperature-wise. However, it will go down tonight. And coming out to set him up in the first defensive series is Keithan McCann. He's a big guy, 6'2", 200. He's a Texan from Grand Prairie. The rest of the backfield will have Derek Brown as the I-back, Omar Soto, your fullback, with Turner at wingback, and he's more of a blocking back than he is a wingback. Mitchell opens at tight end. Bostic is a wide out. McKenton hands it off to the I-back. There's that old Husker cutback draw. And broken big by Derek Brown, a sophomore from La Habra, California, takes it out to the 36-yard line.
Take a look at the linebackers. 54 is Hoffman. Watch him run around the block. Right here, he runs around the block, and the man comes right up through the hole. That's a big psychological advantage. First play for Nebraska.
You get the draw play going. The offensive lineman blocks the defender where he wants to go, and the I-back picks the direction. And it worked beautifully there. Those people up front are big. They try it again. Impman eats him up. Steve Impman just ate him up and drops him for a 2-yard loss. Up front, Wiegert 300, Jensen 305, Scott 260, Shields 295, Borboom 310. That room you see there is the reason why they are so big, because Boyd Epley's strength program here is exceptional. That may be the most sophisticated weight room I've ever seen. Lance Lewis has checked into the backfield now. Omar Soto is leaving, as you can see there, with what appears to be an ankle. And Lance Lewis, who had been sharing time as the starter with Soto, comes in. He's been hurt, and now he shows up as Soto is helped off the field. And that could be a big loss because he's a tough running back. Whistles and flags before the snap. The defense, and it'll give us the chance to set it up for you. They go with 3 down, and they set 2 backers up on the outside, making it look like a 5 and sometimes a 7-man front. It's procedure against Nebraska, but it's Mason, Rogers, Impman. Those are the 3 down guys, and the backers are Jones, Hoffman, Fraley, and Shields, with Fields and Jones as the outside people. The corners are Hall and Bailey. They play man. Delele will shadow Johnny Mitchell, the quick tight end, and Paukoa is the man who'll take your hat off on the blitz. Here comes the blitz. They throw it into the crowd and get away with it as Tyrone Hughes comes in from the split-end position and makes the catch. There is no gain, maybe a half a yard or so on the play, but that could have been a huge loss.
It was a wide receiver screen back to the middle of the field. McCant did a nice job of getting rid of the football, and if Hughes could have broke 1 tackle, could have made a big play. That's a nice play for McCant. This passing game for Nebraska is not sophisticated. That was a chance for a big play with an easy completion.
So they're back almost to the original line of scrimmage prior to the procedure call. And they go to the I-back. And the gain by Brown is to the 40 and just across it as Dave Hopson, the inside linebacker, 54, makes the tackle. And now the Cornhuskers will have to punt. The wind is an element here at Husker Stadium or Memorial Stadium that is never a constant. It's blowing across the stadium, but it doesn't always blow the same direction down below. It swirls around. Dino Bryant is closing in on a record at Washington as a kick returner, and Mike Stiggy, his first punt of the season. And it's a good one. Into the wind, gets a nice tight spin on it. Bryant takes the ball at the 18-yard line. One of his own men knocks him off balance, and he goes down up at the 22. That's a fine kick, 43 yards into the wind. The quarterback, Billy Joe Hobart, big guys, flushed out of the pocket, roll down for a 1-yard loss. And the Nebraska Cornhuskers are pumped. The crowd is roaring. The strengths and weaknesses for the Huskies on offense.
Well, the Huskies led the Pac-10 in 5 offensive categories. They returned 8 starters from last year's team. And for Nebraska, they lost 6 players, 6 starters to the NFL draft last year. They led the Pac-10, the Big 8 in defense, but they lost 6 of their players to the NFL draft.
Second down, 11 as Hobart lost a yard. The ball is at the 21. And the ball goes to Jay Barry. Nothing there. We're waiting for the initial flow of adrenaline to subside here. It will in time. Billy Joe Hobart, 21 out of 31 against Stanford. He's a big guy, as I told you, 6'3", 225. Jay Barry opens at tailback. Matt Jones, your fullback. McKay Bailey are the wideouts, and Aaron Pierce is the tight end. It is 3rd down and 11. This time, there is time for Hobart. He throws a bullet to Orlando McKay, the senior out of Mesa, Arizona, and he goes down right around the marker. First down for Washington. So that will silence the crowd just a little bit. This is a big offensive front, too. You see both tackles are over 300, with the guards at 290 and 270, and Cunningham in the middle. Ed stands in at 285. Big people playing this game these days. First down for Washington. The pitch goes to Barry. Looks for the crack. Spins to the 34. That's the 2-yard pickup. The defense for the Cornhuskers of Nebraska, the 3 down guys are Raymakers, Engelbert, and Perella. Outside backers will step up and make it a 5 and sometimes a 6-7 man front, with the backers being Hill, Petco, Anderson, and White. The defensive secondary of Cotton, Carmer, Bird, and Leggett. Cotton and Leggett are your corners. Cotton, for example, has a 40-inch vertical jump. In case you haven't checked it lately, just look at it. That's above your easy chair. When the wideouts for Washington, McKay and Bailey, go against the Nebraska corners, Cotton and Leggett, you'll have a track meet. They average about 4.4 speed. I mean, that's a quick group right there. Back goes Hobart. Billy Joe has some time. Buys Moore on a rollout. Throws underneath to his tight end, Pierce. It is broken up by number 99, Mike Petco, who is a senior from Servite High School in Anaheim, California, playing at Nebraska.
Your comments were very accurate, Keith, about the crowd and the emotions. The thing that Washington and Hobart want to do is just try and make some first downs and take the crowd out of it. Now, he called timeout the last time because the football was on the ground, and if the ground is wet, when he rolls that ball over, it's going to get wet because they wet this surface before the game for better traction.
On 3rd down and 8, Hobart lets it go big. McKay's out there, and it is incomplete. McKay fell down, and he is screaming because he felt Leggett stepped on his foot and tripped him, but he doesn't get a call. Soto, we're told, has been taken inside for x-rays on his right ankle. Lucky to get that one back.
Leggett, number 3 in the red jersey, is going for the ball, and it looks like their feet do get tangled up, but no call is there is the right call because Leggett was going for their interception.
Now the Husky quarterback, Hobart, goes back in punt formation with Corey Dixon, the man they want to handle it, number 1. Not a particularly good kick. It takes a soft bounce. Hughes comes up on the ball and almost slid over the top of it and almost lost it, and it was a foolish risk by Tyrone Hughes. He almost lost the ball. 9:59 to go in the first quarter. 42-yard punt. Brown as Steve Empman gets his 2nd tackle of the night. This is the top 10 of the Associated Press, and the top 3 guys idle this weekend. Florida, however, lost at Syracuse. And 38-21 score. You know, back in 1936, when the AP poll was first started, these 2 teams who are watching tonight, Washington's 5th, and Nebraska was 9th. And as we play tonight, going into this game, the Huskies were 4th in the AP poll, and Nebraska 9th. So that's how close we are to what things were like back in 1936. But the game is different.
Change a little bit, hadn't it? We got a report on Omar Soto, the fullback for Nebraska. It's sprained. He may not be back. Sprained of the knee and ankle area.
Tyrone Hughes, number 33, checks in as Nebraska goes to trips at the top of the screen. 3 wide out. Keithan McCant takes off. He can run. They didn't even knock him down. The crowd, however, responding to the play is hooting and hollering, and McCant wasn't even knocked off his feet.
Well, if you can put Nebraska in these types of situations where the quarterback has to drop back and pass, you're going to win the football game. But this is what the Nebraska quarterbacks give you, and that's the ability to run when you drop back. It's almost like a quarterback draw. McCann is not going to throw for 200 yards, but he may run for half of that and throw for half of it.
Ennis, this is GW.
On the 40-yard line. This is Derek Brown, the I-back. And right now, the Nebraska offensive front is blowing Washington off the ball. First down, Huskers. The ball is at the Washington 49-yard line. McCant rolls, throws. There's a man wide open over there. Tyrone Hughes. He got completely away. They're picking on Dana Hall, and Hall is shaken up on that play.
Well, the key to this aggressive, attacking, blitzing style of defense that Washington plays is to have good corners on the outside that can cover one-on-one. And Hall can do that.
But they're going right at him right now. Unbalanced, open side of the field. It took it out to the yard back. Derek Brown. He cuts. It is touchdown, Huskers.
A little option. Block there on Talele, number 8. The wide receiver gets a good block on Bailey. Just stays in his face. And the Nebraska tailbacks, whomever they are, Derek Brown this time, has enough speed to get in the end zone.
There have been balloons released all over the stadium, and some of them are settling down on the field. You got a man down. He's wearing the Washington colors. And it looks to me like it's Dana Hall, and Hall was holding his rib cage a moment ago, and he may have been dinged in the rib cage. So that's the second time he's been on the ground, and we've had Omar Soto out already with a severe sprained ankle, and now Dana Hall may well have some damage to his rib cage. The touchdown play was good from 27 yards out.
This Hall, number 5, making the tackle. You know, it looks like his rib cage may have fallen on the shoe or the ankle, the foot.
Yeah, but he got up a while ago holding himself in that very same place.
Yes, he did.
Brown now has 6 carries and 58 yards in the ball game.
I'd have to guess where he's holding. That's either a bruised or a sprained area in the ribs. And that's a pain.
Byron Bennett is in to try for the extra point as soon as time resumes. That hurts. If that's a cartilage, it can be a cartilage too, you know. It really hurts.
It's not a serious injury. It's just a painful one.
Bennett has missed 3 extra points this year. Stiggy, the punter, holds it. Kick is up. The kick is good. So at 8 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Nebraska Cornhuskers take the lead 7-0.
Getting to know.
James, 4 for 8, 62 yards, played defensive back as well as the Miami Hurricanes came to Lincoln and lost to the Cornhuskers 20-16.
Pretty good quarterback.
Now, yeah, it was. 38 years later, here he is.
Yeah, pretty good quarterback on the other side of the field, too, Tom Osborne. Played for Hastings College here in Colorado. I mean, in Colorado.
Hello.
In Nebraska, went on to play in the NFL, as a matter of fact.
Tommy Smith and Walter Bailey are your deep people, 15 and 23. Byron Bennett will kick it off. Bailey all the way out at the 16-yard line and knocked down up around the 24. And the crowd is roaring, and the Cornhuskers are flying all over the place right now.
Let's go back. It's going to be an option. These men are coming. Watch the block here by the red jersey. Come down and block on number 8, Talele. Comes down, the option man gets a good block. I think that's Turner, number 22.
He's the guy that worried Jimmy Lambright, the Washington defensive coach, because he's a big blocking back, what he is. This is Jay Barry, the tailback, 190-pound junior from North Glen, Colorado. And he moves from the 24 out to about the 27. Texas A&M an upset loser today, and there were some stunning scores today. Ohio State winning their 3rd of the season. Colorado buried Minnesota. 2nd down and 7. Herbert on 2nd down to throw it, goes to Pierce. 1st down out at the 40-yard line. Aaron Pierce is a senior from Seattle. He's a big tight end at 6'5", 240. So we figure both tight ends are going to be very much involved in the passing game through this game tonight. Nebraska is out to a first-quarter lead of 7-0.
And that's a big point, too, Keith, that Nebraska got out to a lead because it keeps this crowd, the fans, in the ball game. Washington coming in would have likely gotten ahead and taken them out of the game, but they are in this game big time right now.
That's the way you beat Nebraska, is get in front and then make them play catch-up. But to do that, you got to stop the run. Hobart almost falls down, throws the ball underneath the coverage, and Orlando McKay will go for a 1st down on the Nebraska side of the field. He's inside the 45-yard line. There's almost always room underneath the coverage when you've got your linebackers tucked in as tight as these two teams play.
Well, that's what Washington wants to do, spread you out and then find the biggest mismatch and then work on that linebacker or that defensive back.
From just inside the 44-yard line, the snap, quick pop, trying to set up the screen for McKay. That's a forward pass.
Yeah.
That's a forward pass. But they're scrambling for it and covering it just in case it had been a lateral.
Three wide receivers lined up this way. Number 4, McKay, is just going to take one step. Hobart is going to fire out. Now, you do that because the man that was supposed to be covering McKay was off of him about 7 or 8 yards. McKay just started to run before he caught the football.
But how does it go if you're not covered, you're the hot man? That's a phase of the old run and shoot.
A lot of times, if you're not covered, you know you're going to get the football.
Trips to the bottom of the screen. 3 wideouts, and the 4th one is at the top. And Hobart back has time. Penalty flag down. Pass is complete to Mario Bailey, but you're going to get a holding call against Washington. That play's going to get wiped out. Referee threw the flag back to the line of scrimmage.
The passing game for Washington, Keith, is really there. Nebraska not adept at this. Here's a linebacker. He's going to blitz. Here's McKay, number 4. Watch him as he goes right into this area. There's not going to be anybody near him. You can't play this way. You can't play pass defense like this. It's got to be tougher than this.
Yeah, they'll eat him up.
Oh, yeah. Some big mistakes in the coverage for the Cornhuskers.
There's Dana Hall. They've scrapped him up.
Yeah.
So it's a bruised
Well,
wrist.
that will not only affect the defensive secondary, but their whole defense, because it's key that those corners can cover man-to-man to allow the blitzes with the linebackers and defensive line. They may not be as aggressive now without him in the ballgame.
Second down and 20 as the ball comes back to the Washington 46. Huskers almost jump, but they get back out of the neutral zone, and here goes Bino Bryant. We saw Bino Bryant a couple of weeks ago at Stanford on grass, and with a sore leg, didn't appear all that quick. But he's been healing, and you put him on a rug, boy, he's quick.
Well, that is one advantage that Washington had over Nebraska, is that they had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. They played Stanford, then had 2 weeks to heal, and also to prepare for the nuances that Nebraska uses. Nebraska didn't have that luxury. They played last week.
Matt Jones has checked into the backfield now for the Washington Huskies, along with Leif Johnson and Jay Barry. So you've got 2 fullbacks and a tailback in there. It's 3rd down and 3 for Washington. That's Billy Joe Hobart. Big guy from Puyallup talking to the referee, who is John Laurie out of Springfield, Missouri. This is a Big 8 crew. The umpire is Kevin Hart, the linesman Mark Hittner, Kent Houck, the line judge, Terry Porter, the field judge, the side judge is Phil Laurie, and Artie Falk is the back judge. And the pollen is blowing in off the cornfields, I'll tell you, boys.
Is it getting to you?
Tearing me up here all of a sudden. Third down. Could be a big play right here in the early going. They load it up on the right side, give it to Barry, and it's a heck of a defensive play by number 48, Mike Anderson, the inside backer, and you got a flag. It's a hold, and it's against Washington. So the Huskies now have been caught holding twice in this possession. You will not help yourself doing that.
No, you certainly won't. That is, when you're on the road, it's tough enough to win, but if you have a lot of penalties or turnovers, you're just fighting an uphill battle.
Without that penalty, they're in range of Travis Hansen. With the penalty, no way. Time remaining, 6 minutes and 15 seconds.
That's an outstanding graphic right there. He's never won fewer than 9 games or lost more than 3 in any one season.
Yeah, but he hasn't won that many bowl games lately.
What have you done for me lately?
There you go. Hobart's pass is away. Bailey drops it. Didn't drop it. Back there defending was Leggett, and Leggett was right in his face and got a hand on it. So that'll get the punt in order for the Washington Huskies. And the crowd roars for the Cornhuskers. John Bostic, who is from Interlake High School, Bellevue, Washington, is the deep man for Nebraska. Billy Joe Hobart gets it up into the wind with a good spin on it, and the ball goes to the corner. It's a good kick. Great kick. He keeps on walking, comes out, stops just short of the 7-yard line. And that's where Nebraska will go to work, a 40-yard punt. Old Coffin Corner kicked that. Next Saturday, ABC's college football brings you an afternoon of action, first at 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's noon Eastern and 9 o'clock in the morning on the coast. The #1 ranked Seminoles of Florida State and the 3rd ranked Michigan Wolverines. At 3:30 Eastern and 12:30 Pacific time, we have regional games for you. Georgia Tech, Clemson, Colorado, Stanford, Pitt, Minnesota. Check your local listing. Here comes the I-back, Derek Brown, and picks up a couple of yards before Dave Hoffman, the inside linebacker, takes him down. Chris Zizda is in there at a guard position now for Nebraska, number 64. They're all big. He's at 285.
There's a look at your comparison. Mainly, that's a lot of size in the offensive line for Nebraska. Washington does it with speed and quickness. There's only 2 big guys in that line. The rest of them can all run.
Number 10, William Doctor, backing out of the picture there, has replaced Dana Hall. Keithan McCant keeps it, and he's dragged down just over the 10-yard line. Andy Mason brought him down. There's William Doctor. He's a senior out of El Paso, Texas. Has played a lot.
Certainly has. Had 2 interceptions last year. Has played a lot of games, started a lot of games for this ball club over the past.
Vince Hawkins comes in now. He's an ex-I-back out of junior college. He's from New Orleans. He's in replacing Turner at the wing-back spot, blocking back. Here comes McCant, taken down from behind. And so the Huskies send a man trailing on the play, Tulele, and Tulele, the rover, or the strong safety, if you will, right there, number 8, pursued the man and brought him down.
This is one thing that Washington should be good at, and that is pursuing the option, because they have a lot of speed to run from sideline to sideline.
With Nebraska leading 7-0 in the first quarter, they go to the punt now with Bino Bryant, 29 back, and 47 Mike Stiggy. Stiggy had a 43-yarder his first time into the win. This time he's got to kick it out of his end zone, and the Washington Huskies want to talk about things. Time remaining, first quarter, 4:02.
I just read something new. If you're at...
It figures that Washington is going to get pretty good field position. They're punting Nebraska from their own end zone. Bino Bryant, number 2 in the nation last year in punt returns, returned 3 punts for touchdowns.
Now Mike Stiggy's got to kick it out of the end zone. There's no pressure on him, and he didn't get all of it. But what he did do is prevent Bino Bryant from getting his hands on it.
He sure did. But they're going to get the ball inside the Nebraska 40-yard line.
It is a 30-yard punt, and the Washington Huskies are camped on the Cornhusker 38-yard line, first down. But Nebraska leads 7-0. Here's Jackaroo.
Keith Miles Corrigan, who was talking to the offensive line and the backfield when they were off on that series of downs while the defense was on for the Huskies. Well, he said they're not at all upset with their play so far, except for the number of penalties. He said we've got to reduce those penalties, and we keep drives alive to the TD.
Bino Bryant carries the ball, and he is clobbered by number 92, John Perella, a 290-pound junior from Grand Island, Nebraska. There are some fellows swapping paint in the trenches tonight.
They certainly are. This is going to be a physical game, no question about it. Both teams are big. We mentioned Nebraska lost 6 defensive guys to the NFL draft. Take a look inside at the hand fighting going on. That's Perella, number 92.
That's a hit, folks. That's a major league hit. Billy Joe Hobart back to throw it, getting some heat, gets his pass away. The pass is incomplete. He threw it right down the alley where there was nobody, and it got rid of it and didn't take the loss because Trev Alberts, number 34, was about to jump his moon.
Billy Joe wanted to make sure that the receiver knew that he was expecting him to go one way, and he went the other way. Hobart is now 3 of 8 for 42 yards. Not a very good start.
This is only Hobart's second collegiate start.
It is. That's for sure. He went big time in his first start, though.
He's not burdened with a whole lot of wisdom yet.
That may be good.
Back to throw it. Gets it off, and it is incomplete. Mario Bailey was downfield, and Bailey was being covered by Kenny Wilhite.
Nowhere to throw it, Keith.
Nope.
Everybody's covered.
The crowd gives him a hand. At 3:07, Washington's got a punt. Last time, Hobart knocked it out of bounds at the Cornhusker 7.
That was a big series. As you take a look at Bostic to receive the punt. Big series defensively for Nebraska. We've been talking about Washington defensively. As you take a look at Hobart, Nebraska's defense was pretty good last year in the Big 8.
Hobart's punt got a lot of spin on it. It'll sail into the crowd. It went into the stand. So it'll come back out to the 20-yard line with 3:01 to go in the first quarter. And Nebraska leading 7-0. It's a harvest moon. At least it looked like a harvest moon. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll choose a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team for the 21st year. Chevrolet Scholarship Program giving $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. All right, Nebraska coming back to the attack. Keithan McCann hands it off to the I-back, and down he goes. Dave Hoffman, the inside linebacker, getting another tackle. And this time he takes Derek Brown down hard. There's a loss of a yard on the play. Second down, 11. You see Hoffman led the Huskies in tackling last year. He had 8 in the opening game at Stanford 2 weeks ago. Bostic coming wide to the bottom of the picture. Hughes at the top of the picture. McCant checking off. Little quick drop, wants to throw. Gets his pass away to the sidelines, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Chris Garrett, the tight end. Garrett in right now. And you're going to see Nebraska go a lot tonight, I think, with two tight ends. Mitchell is not the strongest blocker of the group. Washington may be. Garrett and Lacey behind him are also very good. 3rd down 11 now for Nebraska.
Keith, we just get word that Soto, the fullback, has a broken right fibula.
Oh, boy.
So he'll be out the rest of the ball game.
And season.
And a few more.
Yeah. McCant chased out of the pocket. He will not get, however, much advance. There's a penalty flag back there around the 13-yard line. That came out of the referee's pocket and almost surely means holding. And the new rule this year is they penalize you from where the infraction occurred. So let's see what this is. That could mean something. It's holding against Nebraska. All right, now where did the holding take place? That's the next question, and that'll determine whether or not Washington accepts.
Well, it's 3rd down. It's going to be 4th down, so they're going to decline it. But if it happened 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, one of the offensive line pass blocking, it goes 10 yards back from the 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so it in effect would be a 16-yard loss.
Right. So the Huskies want the ball, and so they put Nebraska back in punt formation, and Bryant waits for it, standing just inside his own 45-yard line. Stiggy had a 30-yarder the second time. First time he had a 43. Little pressure on him, and he hits it. That's a good kick. Really good kick into the wind. Nothing but red shirts looking at Bino Bryant. Down hard at the 41-yard line after a 46-yard punt. Tom Osborne, talking about Keithan McCant, said this.
Well, he's always had great ability, Keith. He's, you know, in terms of a good arm and good speed. His problem has been inconsistency, just at times, and sometimes maybe not being quite as sharp on the offense, you know, just knowing when to audible and so on. But he's really made a lot of improvement. Last spring he began to come on real well, and he's come on even better this fall. And right now is playing very well.
Washington Huskies have the ball right now, and they move it as Bino Bryant carries on that little pass up to near the 48-yard line and brought down by Trev Alberts. It's still Nebraska 7-0 with 1:40 to go in the first quarter.
It's a little screen pass to Bryant. Nebraska completely different defensively, philosophically, than Washington. They're a bend-don't-break defenses. Nebraska, Washington just the opposite. Attack, blitz, make big plays.
2nd down, long 3. Billy Joe Hobart looking down the middle, goes the other way with it. Pass caught. Great catch by Mario Bailey. That is concentration. Bailey's only 5'9", 170, was covered like a blanket, but then all of a sudden put those great legs under him and went up and brought it down.
Hobart got away with that one. That was almost intercepted. He threw it high, so the linebacker couldn't get it.
Well, watch Tyrone Bird. He's much bigger, too.
Here's a look at the behind the defense. Hobart looks down the middle, looks off of Carmer at 31, almost picked off. That was close.
It went right through Bird's hands.
Yeah.
They fake it outside. Ball is dropped by the fullback, Matt Jones. They faked the pitch to Bryant, handed it instead to the fullback. Jones had plenty of room to gain about 8 or 10 yards, and he just simply dropped it. Well, somebody might have tipped it going by, but Matt couldn't put it away. And you see the time ticking away in the first quarter. And Nebraska holds the lead at 7-0. 2nd down and 10. Ball just short of the Cornhuskers' 43-yard line, and Hobart throws the pass complete to Orlando McKay. There's a penalty flag down. The gain on the play is down to about the 31-yard line. But let's see about the flag. It came from the linesman. Holding. Huskers. 3rd time they've been caught holding, and Don James is not happy.
Well, he shouldn't be, because it was a good call. Take a look right here. Number 70, Mala Mala, is going to be holding. This call came from the side judge, and he looks at the in-man line. Left hand of number 70. Look at this. That was a good call. Don James has no complaints about that, unless he's yelling at his own man.
Afternoon baseball scores. Boston now just a half game back of the Toronto Blue Jays. So
tightening up,
got
isn't
a
it?
race. Yeah, they got a race in the National League West too, between the Dodgers and the Braves. Braves leading by half.
They play tonight?
Yep. Time winding down into the quarter, and I think they're going to let it go, and they will. Hobart, looking at the clock, will not call a play. So after the first 15 minutes in Lincoln, Nebraska, the home team leads 7-0. Dana Hall, the cornerback for Washington, with bruised ribs, the lower part of his rib cage, put on a flak jacket because it covers that portion of the bruise, and he's going to give that a try to see if he can.
It's like closing the barn door and the horse is out, though. His ribs are hurting, and that's what he's got to overcome, is the pain within.
Right. So the Huskies go to work. Hobart's pass. Wynn got a hold of it. He didn't have a good tight spin on it, and you have got to spin the ball when you are working in the wind.
Should be used to that, though, up in Seattle. They've thrown a lot of wind. Let's take a look at the first quarter statistics. The score, obviously, in favor of Nebraska. Total of plays are about the same. Look at the rushing yardage, 76 for Nebraska. Washington in a ball game normally only gives up like 67 yards, so Nebraska already over the limit as far as Washington is concerned.
They're down and 28-6 for the Huskies. Hobart pumps it, lets it go for Orlando McKay. It's going to be picked off, and it is intercepted by Kenny Wilhite. The ball was underthrown. The wind got it and fell right into the arms of Wilhite. If Hobart had been able to throw it far enough, McKay would have scored because he was gone.
Well, take a look. Man to man, McKay and Wilhite. Wilhite is the number 3 cornerback, but he plays a lot. He's beaten by just a step, but he sees the ball is underthrown, good vision on the ball, and picks off his 3rd interception of the season. Another look.
The Cornhuskers go to work from their own 29-yard line. McCant going outside is taken down just about the line of scrimmage. Keithan McCant, 5th-year senior from Grand Prairie, Texas, 6'2", 200 pounds.
It's a good look at Wilhite. Again, the defensive philosophy fits right in with Tom Osborne. Offensive philosophy that is conservative. They don't throw many passes, and they don't do a lot of things on defense to allow big plays to happen.
They're leading right now 7-0 over the number 4 ranked team in the nation, the Washington Huskies. Florida was defeated today in Syracuse. USC lost today to Arizona State. McCant still has the ball after a good fake. Gets pressure, throws behind the tight end Chris Garrett, and it is incomplete. Impman has 3 tackles in the ball game so far. He was closing in on that one, and McCant heard the earth, felt the earth tremble, and got rid of it.
So look at McCant in the first game against Stanford. He batted a ball up into the air and intercepted it. He says, I didn't know what to do with it after I caught it. He says, I got to work on that in practice.
Washington so far has had its tango offense going, but Nebraska, on the other hand, took one in for the touchdown on a 27-yard run by Derek Brown. Otherwise, they've been pretty well shut down, too.
There's probably a checkoff, Keith, where Washington had all 11 guys up on the line of scrimmage. McCant checked off, hoping to get a quick trap up the middle, split the defense, and get down the field, but no such luck.
How do you read the battle along the line of scrimmage now? Is it beginning to even up?
It's about even. Nebraska had that one drive where they got 2 key runs off. Aside from that, it's even.
Sticky is back to punt. Vino Bryant back to return it. Kick is away with the wind, and he'll knock that one out of the county. It's over Bryant's head, headed for the end zone. Turning back up the field, down at the 3-yard line. What a spectacular spectacular kick. "68-yard punt."
They're the worst team in...
Well rested. He didn't punt the first 2 games.
Fresh leg. Well, it's gut check time right here for the Huskies in this first half. Nebraska obviously going to load up and try to pin him in here. They give the ball to Matt Jones, and Jones finds some daylight sliding off the left side, running behind Mala, and he gets out near the 9-yard line. So from the 2 to the 9, that's 7. And it's 7-0, Nebraska leading. Hurt on the play is Perella, the defensive right tackle for the Cornhuskers.
Washington, first half possession. Look at the third one down. They got the ball on the 38-yard line in Nebraska. 3 plays and they had to punt. They've not done anything with it when they've had it.
Tailback Barry. Jay Barry spinning in the crowd, and he's close to a first down. If the mark stands where the linesman has put his left foot down, it's going to be first down, Washington. So they'll sort it out. Looks like they'll bring the chain zone, and while they do that, let's pause 5 seconds to allow our ABC stations to tell you who they are.
This is KOMO TV4 Seattle.
I don't know if that's the old left foot, right foot gig or not, but he put his left foot down, and it looks to me like he's marked it somewhere in between the 12 and 13. And he did, and it is the first down. 12:27 to go in the second quarter.
Last year, the Washington Huskies, this is what they did in the Pac-10. They were dominant. In fact, the Huskies dominated the entire Pac-10, averaging over 30 points every time they won a game in the Pac-10.
Hobart pitches it to Barry, and Barry got a block on the turn. A good block from Mala again, who was rolling around, and also the pulling guard, Rungan. Raymaker's on the tackle. Ball close to the 18-yard line. Pick up the flag, no penalty. The speaker system within the stadium, which the referee works from, is not working. It's been a bad day all over the country for referees' mics, I think. Jones in motion, give the ball to Barry. Barry trying to get outside, turns inside the 20, dives, and he may have another first down. It'll be close. They may need the change for this one. Aaron Pierce was upfield throwing a block. Mala showed up more and more here in leading the running game for Washington. That big tackle. It is a first down.
They need a good running game, Keith, because you cannot put the pressure on the young sophomore Hobart. Billy Joe, he had a good game this first game, but you cannot put him on the road in a hostile crowd in this situation and expect, hey, go out and win the game for us. You got to have some running yards.
Bean O'Brien checks back into the backfield now. He is the single back for the Huskies. He's got the ball on a little tailback draw. Pops out of there. First down, Washington up across the 40, near the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him short of it at the 39. He was a half a whisker away from a real big game.
He just popped out of there, didn't he?
Yep. First arm tackle didn't do it. He was gone. Bryant is only 180 pounds, but he's a very sturdy, tough 180 when he's fresh. But he cannot take the pounding.
Look at Nebraska, what they did in the Big 8 last year defensively.
5 plays, Washington picked up 38 yards here in this possession, and whistle stop them on that one. Movement in the Washington offensive line. Clock shows 11:05 first half. Nebraska 7, Washington nothing. That's the 4th penalty. And 40 yards on the Huskies. Penn State leading BYU 10-7. And of course last Saturday night at the Coliseum in Los Angeles we saw Penn State get shocked. Southern California suffered their second shock of the season today. Hobart Back to throw it. Swings it out. They set up the screen out there for Bino Bryant, but Bryant and the would-be blockers are not together. In between them are big fellows wearing red, and David White made the tackle.
Second down, 13.
Red Raiders of Colgate. The Duke Blue Devils playing tonight. Second down and 13 now. 4 wideouts as the tailback moves out there. Hobart's pass drilled down the middle to Mario Bailey. Looking for some help. Bailey goes to the sideline. Picks up a first down for Washington at the Nebraska 39-yard line. Curtis Cotton saved the touchdown. Mario Bailey very wisely was looking for help over there from Bino Bryant, and he almost got it.
That time Nebraska came in, went man-to-man underneath, and they're just not quick enough. The secondary and the linebackers, right there is number 5 getting away from, that's Cotton, number 9. The Washington receivers just too quick.
On first down, Hobart turns and gives it to Bryant, and Bryant pops out of there again. Bino Bryant dives inside the 25 and bounces down at the 23.
Good blocking up front for Bino. He's doing it. Take a look at the offensive line. 75 is Kennedy. Center is Cunningham, number 79, blocking on 73 Noonan. Big hole up the middle. This is the man they want to get the ball to. Good speed, fastest man on the team. 4.3 speed.
3 wideouts to the top of the picture now on first down. Hobart goes with it hard. Bullet is good to the 10. The man falls down inside the 10. Curtis Gaspard, number 17. It'll be first down and goal to go Washington.
Well, take a look at the outside receiver. He's going to come down and hook to the inside. Everybody else is going to clear out. He's going to be wide open on the inside. First down passing, a great time to pass. The receivers, flare control, help out, and a nice throw. A lot of receivers open for Washington.
First and goal from the 9. Quarterback draw, Hobart. Touchdown, Huskies. He caps a 98-yard drive. Mo has put on a white shirt.
The advantage of a quarterback that can run, and both teams on the field today have that.
Eric Bjornsson, backup quarterback, has the high snap go right between his fingers. Travis Hansen comes back to cover it, and the extra point is missed. That was a bad snap.
That could be a big play all night long, too.
Bruce Bailey is the snapper, and Bruce, number 88, is going to let that one get away. Here's your touchdown.
Quarterback draw. Watch the block on Anderson, 48. And he's just going to run away. Big play.
Prop masters and
yards, including the run for the touchdown from 9 yards out. Nate Turner and Tyrone Hughes will be the deep people here for Nebraska. Hughes is 33 and Turner 22. And Travis Hansen will kick it off. Nebraska still leading 7-6. That was an impressive 98-yard move by the Washington Huskies.
Big time.
Short kick goes to about the 13, and hustling on down the field is Tommy Smith. And Tommy Smith takes Tyrone Hughes' legs away from him.
Let's go back to that touchdown, Keith. It's a good call. It was man-to-man coverage. These defensive backs are covering these people. These two safeties are going to split, go to the outside. This linebacker has his tight end. Nobody has the quarterback as he's going to go in right in between them. Nobody is assigned to cover the quarterback. A play that is called at the right time. Everybody has their backs turned away. Nobody assigned to the QB.
Mickey Joseph comes in at quarterback now for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, his first appearance in the ball game. He is considered by some the better passer. He is quite good on the option as well, not as big as Keithan McCann. Derek Brown is the I-back, and he carried on that last play. Mickey Joseph is a senior from Marrero, Louisiana, at 5'10" and 180.
Joseph's the better runner, not the better thrower. I mean, this kid can run the option.
He's faster afoot than McCann, but not as big and strong.
That's for sure.
I'm still struggling with the pollen.
He was a starter all of last year, was Joseph. Got hurt in the last game of the year against Oklahoma. Didn't play in the bowl game. Started off the year the #1 quarterback.
Third down and 4 for Nebraska. Joseph going to the outside, throws his pass. The pass is incomplete. And he got some pressure from Donald Jones, number 48. Jones forcing him to get rid of the ball before he really wanted to. And so they'll have to punt again. Now Tom Osborne showing some concern, because with this big crowd roaring and his team all pumped up, they pretty well owned the first quarter, but now the Washington Huskies have started to assert themselves in that 98-yard march for the touchdown. Bino Bryant back to return the kick. Mike Stiggy, his 5th punt of the night, the last one with the win, went 68 yards. Bino Bryant backed up and gives him 50 this time. 55 yards between the two. This is a mile high into the night sky, and Bryant, showing very good concentration, is able to make the fair catch. You got a flag thrown over on the far side of the field. That was a 50-yard punt. No return, obviously, on the fair catch. Clipping. It's against Nebraska.
That's unusual for the punting team. Unless he made the wrong call, unless he pointed the wrong way. You don't. And Tom's saying, "Wait a minute, we clipped? Come here, I want to talk about that."
Yeah, he's changed it. Now he's going back the other way. Still stands at the 50-yard punt. 7:55 to go in the first half. They're debating now exactly where they want to put the ball. The ball is in the possession of Washington, in case that's wandered through your mind. Bino Bryant made his fair catch back around the 26, 27-yard line. And that's where your penalty is going to be assessed from.
It's tough enough to win on the road, Keith, without turning the ball over or committing senseless fouls and penalties.
In case you wonder, under the new rule, you know, that could have been gone the other way, but the clipping occurred way upfield, far beyond the point of possession. That's why the penalty was marked off from the point of possession or line of scrimmage, not the spot of the foul. And he comes back to the 13-yard line, and there the Huskies will go to work as Bino Bryant is in at tailback and carries up to about the 16 for a pickup of 3 yards. Gain of 3, second down 7 coming up. ABC Sports will be at Soldier Field Monday night for our NFL presentation. Chicago Bears hosting the New York Jets. The Baylor Bears are pretty good this year too. Billy Joe Herbert is pursued and brought down just about the line of scrimmage by Mike Anderson. But ABC's Monday Night Football will be on the air at 9 Eastern Time from Soldier Field in Chicago.
Jets gave Buffalo a scare last week. Almost had them.
Yep. The Monday night guys may have to rest tomorrow.
Had them working today, didn't we?
Yeah. Show them how easy college football is.
Tell you, the toughest thing is they snap the ball a little bit quicker in between play, from one play to the next.
Third down and 5. Hobart back. Looks, got a man. Going to be enough for the first down as Mario Bailey makes the catch at the 13. I mean, that's the 23. And I don't know if I called it too soon or not. He had to get precisely to the 23-yard line.
Here's what they're doing right here, man-to-man. The two receivers outside clear out, and man coverage is just going to break to the outside. Hobart flushes out a little bit. Strong arm gets it out there.
Didn't get his first down.
Didn't get it.
Nope. Corey Dixon drops back to return for Nebraska. And Billy Joe Hobart is your punter. Gets it up high. Dixon's first acceptance of the ball. He handles it all right at the 38. He can fly. And he is caught. And I mean, it's a good thing Hillary Butler got a piece of him because he might still be running. 39-yard punt. Quarterback, and he just drilled a shot to John Bostic. And a pickup of some 7 or 8 yards for the Cornhuskers.
So there's a look at Johnny Mitchell, one of the tight ends, 3 or 4 good ones. He has 6 catches on the year, 2 for touchdowns. Last year he had 11 catches, 7 of which were for touchdowns. So he is their big play guy. If they're going to get a big play, it'll probably come to Johnny Mitchell.
Second down and 2. McCant gives it to the I-back, Derek Brown, and Brown will have the first down as he pops it to the Washington 39. You saw a moment ago in those numbers that Washington had possessed this quarter, but now the Cornhuskers flared it up again. Here's Jack.
Keith, until this series, of course, as you could see, it looked as if the offensive line of the Nebraska Cornhuskers was not getting off the ball properly. But Tom Osborne took them over to the side during that last series of downs and diagrammed the plays. He was very upset with the fact that they weren't blocking properly. He took them point by point through the steps through a series of plays for this next offensive series.
That's the first down in 5 possessions. Tomorrow night, Premiere Week continues on ABC with the all-new season premiere of Life Goes On, America's Funniest Home Videos, and America's Funniest People, plus the world premiere movie, The Untold Story of Marilyn Monroe's first husband, Marilyn and Me. All tomorrow night on ABC. A 7-6 ball game with the temperature going down now, and ultimately we'll get to the low 40s or possibly the high 30s, the weatherman says. So autumn is in the offing in Middle America.
Last week at this time, Tom Osborne had about a 35-point lead and had his 3rd team on the field. In fact, the last 2 weeks beat Utah State and Oklahoma State by big numbers. They knew it wouldn't be that easy here tonight.
Jim Lambright just brought his entire defensive unit to the sideline, and he and the defensive coaches had a serious conversation with them, so let's see what they've cooked up. As McCant rolls out, gets some heat. Hoffman's after him. Hoffman's got him. Hoffman gets in behind the line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line. Second time McCant has been sacked in the ball game tonight, and it brings up a 2nd down and 14. That big Lance Lundberg that's blocking out the view. He's 6'4", 305 from Wausau, Nebraska.
Got some depth on that offensive line.
Oh, they really do. They got 6 tackles around 300 pounds. Not much there for the I-back. They swarm it. Nebraska's option will drive you crazy. Any option will drive you crazy. And Don James, in our conversation yesterday, had this emphatic point about the option.
Everybody knows that the option is still the hardest play to defend against. I don't care what they put up. The hardest play is the option. And they've got ways to run option weak, option strong, but they've also got a way to take the onside guard, the fullback, and the lead back and get 3 guys in front of the quarterback on an option. And we haven't figured out a way to break all that down and get to the quarterback.
McCant back. There's the first fake. Wants to go deep with it. Goes for Bostic in the corner. He's got it. Touchdown, Nebraska. Bostic beats Bailey. That's a kid from Bellevue, Washington, across the lake from the university who just burned his hometown team.
That should never happen, Keith, on 3rd and 13.
Bennett for the try. Is good. That makes that missed point by Washington look tough now, 14-6. Bailey got lost.
Two tight ends. Here's one and here's the other. All of these guys are looking for a run. Now, what have you got left? You've got these two guys out here playing man-to-man. He's just going to come down, break to the inside, and go deep to the outside. That's the respect that Washington has, even on 3rd and 13, for the run of Nebraska. Give credit to McCant. He gets deep, and Bostic gets open.
42 yards on the play. That'll get him some boo-hiss when he goes home to Bellevue.
That's the truth. Big play. He knows he's got him one-on-one.
He's like a cork in Whitecap, didn't he? Tommy Smith and Walter Bailey are deep. That's a very short kick. It's taken by Smith. Tommy Smith, big, strong guy, 6'2", 210 from Lancaster. California is hammered. But he delivers some punishment of his own as he brings it up the field. And the Huskies now trailing by 8. At halftime, we have the Prudential halftime report. Roger and Coach Bo Schembechler will have the news, scores, and highlights from around the country and a conversation with Florida State head coach Bobby Bowden, headed for his big one next Saturday at noon with the Michigan Wolverines, which you'll see here on ABC. 27-yard line, Hobart back. Throws it underneath. Orlando McKay. First down up near the 45-yard line. If one of those other two people in the center of the field had peeled back, McKay might have scored. But they didn't, and he's down at the 44.
Washington now, Keith, into the wind, has gone to the shorter possession-type passes or the slants because of that wind. Try to catch it short and let the receivers run with it.
Hobart. That's intercepted. Second one of the night. Tyrone Leggett. Intended for Curtis Gaspard. Penalty flag back upfield. So let's see what that's about. Let's see this flag up here. It is declined. Nebraska takes the ball.
Take a look from behind the defense. Hobart looks to his left the whole way. He throws it to the open spot, but Gaspard doesn't get in there. If he would have hooked into the inside area where he was supposed to, the ball was thrown there. You know, quarterbacks, Keith, throw to spots in open areas, and he was throwing to the open area. That was an easy interception by Leggett.
Calvin Jones shows up now. He's 5'11", 205-pound redshirt freshman from Omaha. And he's a little bigger and stronger than Derek Brown. Maybe not quite as fancy, but he'll hit you a lick. Keithan McCant runs away from the pressure. He'll run it out of bounds.
Ball carried by McCann, forced out of bounds by number 90.
Steve Empman involved in the play.
He's an outstanding player. Was the co-defensive player of the year in the Pac-10 last year. He is just a real load, like a raging bull out there. Grew up on a farm. Says he'll go back to the farm once he
Finishes his NFL career.
Finishes his NFL career is right. Says you'll never get. He says it's in my blood. I'll always go back.
2nd down and 8. McCant underneath. Bostic. I would think the Huskies would dearly love to paint his helmet. He gets a little sassy when he gets up from that one.
Washington won the Rose Bowl last year. Nebraska not impressed by the Rose Bowl winners over the years.
Third down and 5 for the Cornhuskers. Pressure coming from the weak side. The pass is thrown short and caught by Nate Turner. So they do use the wingback occasionally in their passing attack. And Turner slips out there by himself and picked up the first down.
The defensive back, Bailey, was so far off of him, it was just a quick out, 5 or 6 yards and out. I think these corners for the Huskies are a little bit afraid of being burned. They've been burned a couple times tonight, and they were some passes open a couple weeks ago.
McCant back to throw, has very good protection. Now it breaks down a little bit. But the Husky linebacker that penetrated on the defensive end, Andy Mason, was not quick enough to contain him. So McCant just stepped away from him and moved the ball upfield.
Well, he was going. He wanted a big play to Mitchell, his tight end. And they weren't about to have any. Here's Mitchell right here. He's going to go straight down the field, and 2 guys will lock onto him. Play action toward the middle line of scrimmage, trying to hold everybody. Mitchell with 4.6 speed. He's the one that's caught 9 touchdown passes and 17 receptions in a year and a half.
2nd down and 6. Here goes the big guy, Calvin Jones. And Jones blows through the hole and down to the Washington 36 and a Cornhusker first down.
Hepman is 90. Talele is number 8. Garrett is 80. Just a crack in there, just a crease. There aren't going to be any big holes in there this week. You know, Tom Osborne doing a great job of calling the plays, mixing run and pass, throwing on first down, short and deep.
McCant down, sacked behind the line of scrimmage. That's the 3rd time, and this time Andy Mason got his man, number 13. So the loss is back outside the 40 to the 43.
This defense will do that to you. They'll make you look bad. They blitz a lot. They'll make you look bad, embarrass you, some negative plays, but they'll also give up some big plays, what they've done here tonight.
Nebraska calling the timeout, has 1 remaining at 1 minute and 15 seconds left to play in the first half. And the Cornhuskers are leading 14-6. Osborne, who had some heart trouble earlier this year. Tall, lanky fellow. Was a flanker with the 49ers for a year, then with the Redskins, and then went to coaching. Bob Devaney. Bob Devaney announcing that he's going to retire in 1993. And will forever and a day, his shadow will be on this university. Did you know that General John J. Pershing was the math teacher here at the University of Nebraska?
No, I didn't know that.
And Charles Lindbergh learned to fly here. Here's a long looping pass downfield. It is intercepted by Dana Hall. So this time, McCant looking deep. Couldn't get it all the way downfield to Tyrone Hughes, and Hall at 6'3" made the turn in his flak jacket and made the interception.
Be to the right side, and let's give some credit to Dana Hall, who went out with that rib injury earlier, put on the flak jacket and came back in, sees the ball all the way and makes the interception. He had 3 pickoffs last year, and that's his first one.
Wind does not always help carry a projectile either. Sometimes it'll knock it down, and I think it did in that instance. So the Huskies with 2 timeouts remaining, will go to the ball at first down on the 8-yard line, and Bino Bryant will work his way out near the 11 for a short pickup. And 1 minute, and now we're inside 1 minute.
A tackle by Redco. And 67, Reavers. Second down, 7. Ball's on.
We got a lot of double numbers. You see a lot of same number, but you see it on opposite sides of the ball. Like Dana Hall wears 5 and Mario Bailey wears 5. One's defense, one's offense. This is Bryant, big hole, right side. Outside he goes. First down, Huskies. At the 28-yard line. Half a minute to go. Chains are being moved. The clock stops. And Washington going without a huddle.
Well, their attitude is here, if we move the ball down the field, we'll stop it. But if not, we just want to run it out.
Bryant has 75 yards on 7 carries. Billy Joe Hobart's pass to the sidelines. The pass is good to Matt Jones, and Jones gets out of bounds to kill the clock after a 9-yard pickup.
The key factor here for Hobart is you're going into the win, and you're just before halftime. No big mistakes. If we can get it down and maybe get a shot at a field goal, fine. But the critical thing is, and the thing foremost in your mind is, no mistakes. He's already had 2 interceptions in the first half.
Second and 1. Down the middle, Bailey's there. First down, that'll stop your clock again at the Nebraska 48-yard line. You've got 13 seconds to go in the first half. Looks like they may take a timeout here. They will. They have 1 remaining. So Hobart comes to the sideline to talk.
Hobart's a big, strong kid, has a strong arm, likes to throw the ball, is more of a gambler type. Mark Brunell, the quarterback that played for him last year, was the Rose Bowl MVP. There's a look at him right there on the left. Had knee surgery in the spring, serious knee surgery, had an anterior cruciate repaired, is already back. He should be ready to play in a couple of weeks. Billy Joe Hobart, who Brunell won the job from last fall, and Brunell led him to the Rose Bowl. Hobart's got his chance now. I like this kid. He says he's big, he's bold, he's brash. He says I like to take control. He says I like to yell. He says I like to cuss. I like to spit. I like to get things going.
Well, 2 interceptions are going to bother him for a while before he gets back to the supper table. He gets it off. Gaspard makes the catch down at the 31, and that kills their clock with 7 seconds to play. And the Huskies spend their last time out. Now they got to make the call. Do you go ahead and send in Travis Hansen for a field goal try with the football marked down at the 31-yard line?
A lot of times, just before half, at the end of the ball game, the center of the field will be open because everybody's playing zones, first of all, and secondly, they're playing so deep.
Travis Hansen has not tried a field goal in the real world this season. This would be a 48-yarder, and it is into the wind. How much? I can't tell you, because up where we are on top of the stadium, it's howling. Down on the inside of the stadium, it's swirling. Last season, Hansen was 3 out of 4 in field goals between 40 and 49. His brother Jason's an All-American over at Washington State. He has a huge leg.
Comes from good stock.
Yep. So here is the younger of the brothers. Bruce Bailey is in to snap it. Last time Bruce snapped it, didn't work too well. Bjornson's going to hold it. Now Nebraska trying to chill him a little bit. They call a timeout. Nebraska spending its last one. The Huskies don't have one either, and it doesn't really matter because you've only got 7 seconds to play in the half. First quarter belonged to the Cornhuskers. The second quarter pretty much belonged to the Washington Huskies, except for one big play.
Exactly, and that's the type of defense Washington plays. They're going to make you look bad, or they're going to give up some big plays, and Tom Osborne does a good job of calling the plays. And Don James was saying, you know, the thing he was concerned about in the Stanford game, the first game they played a couple of weeks ago, was that Stanford had a bunch of people open. The quarterback didn't hit them. They've connected here tonight.
All right, let's see if they can make this work. 49 yards from where they put it down, at the 39-yard line. Nope. I don't know if it was a good hold or not, because he didn't get much on that ball at all. He just kind of squatted and went into the end zone. Nowhere near the goalpost.
Snap was a tad high. I think it was down all right. He just tried to overkick it into that wind and just kind of kicked a knuckleball. Hit it probably too much in the middle of the ball.
So it's no good. And the Huskies are turned away. Nebraska will get one snap with 3 seconds to go. And the Cornhuskers lead by a score of 14-6. Oh, look at this. McCann throws, and it goes to Calvin Jones, and Jones is going to get a first down. He'll get a nice chunk of yardage to go into his first half total. But the play is done for the first pass. We'll be back with our halftime activities after this message and the word from our ABC station. Washington ranked 4th coming into the game. Nebraska ranked 9th. It is Smith at the 12. And out to the 23, and there the Huskies will go to work.
There you have halftime statistics. Take a look at the total yardage. Washington with 270 yards. Nebraska with almost 200. The 2 turnovers belong to Washington, only 1 for Nebraska. Penalties, 55 yards for Washington and only 5 for Nebraska.
Bino Bryant is the tailback. Matt Jones, the fullback. Over pulls the trigger. With wideouts are Bailey and McKay. And he pops out of there. Matt Jones from Portland, Oregon, blows his way to the 37-yard line and a first down. The Huskies open with Cunningham and Longden and Caligas, Kennedy and Malamala. The tackles pierce the tight end. The wideouts we gave you, that's the way the Huskies start the second half. Only change being Bryant is your tailback instead of Barry. Crowd roaring at Memorial Stadium. Bryant tried to change his pace. Leg buckled under him. He goes down for a loss of about 2 yards as Mike Anderson takes him down. Nebraska opens with Raymakers, Engelbert, and the defensive bunch. Perella is back in there. Perella was the man who was shaken up. You see the offensive leaders for Washington, with Bryant totaling 75 yards in the first half. Most of that yardage for Washington came in the second quarter. Second down and 12. Hobart goes good to Jones out of the backfield. The fullback hammers into one of the Nebraska defensive backs. Leggett tries to put him on his numbers, but couldn't quite do it. And I think he's a little bit short of his first down.
Take a look at the defensive leaders for Nebraska. Anderson and Carmer with 6 tackles apiece. Leggett and Wilhite with 1 interception. Keith, I think it's interesting to note that Washington had the choice in the second half and decided to receive, but Nebraska chose to kick into the wind, thereby getting the win for themselves in the fourth quarter.
Very important. Little bit short. Now let's check in with Jack.
Keith, we talked to Don James before he came out here, and he said offensively, although they didn't produce a lot of points, he was pleased with their efforts. Defensively, he couldn't say the same, though. He said, we've got to contain the quarterback, keep him back in the pocket. That's what he feels is most important and be the decisive factor in this second half.
First thing he's got to do is put a touchdown on the board and get back in the hunt and quiet the crowd a little bit here in the second half. It'll be third down and short. meaning about a foot. Bryant is single back. Hobart slips over to the right side and rides behind Cunningham and Caligus for the first down. Ball will be advanced up to around the 48, and the Huskies will start a new series. Lincoln Kennedy, 75 there, is 6'7", 325, a junior from San Diego. Aaron Pierce, the tight end, is the man hurt on the field for Washington. The big tight end caught a couple of passes, 6'5" and 240, and they're working on a leg. Scoring summary in the ball game: Nebraska broke on top as Derek Brown, the I-back, capped off a very impressive drive with a 27-yard dash for the score. Washington answered as Billy Joe Hobart ran a quarterback draw up the middle, but the extra point on a high snap was missed, and that's where we are right now, 14-6, and Pierce is walking off the field. So that looks like it might be good news as Aaron Pierce is able to walk off the field, and Mark Bruner, who is a true freshman from Aberdeen, Washington, 6'5", 230, comes into the game. They really like this Bruner. No remaining back as Bryant comes outside to the left. Hobart pumps it up. Got Bailey down the middle. Bailey is at the Nebraska 28-yard line, brought down by Steve Carmer. He's a dynamite player, Mario Bailey.
First down and 10. The ball is on.
They spread the field that time. No back in the backfield, Keith, and they just spread them out. No backs back here. Here's Bailey, right? He's going to go straight down the field. Now watch as the secondary gets spread out, covering the entire width of the field. Looks off the free safety, and a great play there.
Call at the 29-yard line. First down, Huskies. Ball is handed away to Matt Jones, the fullback, and Jones is down at the 26, and let's go to Roger Twibble.
BYU fumbled the second half kickoff, and watch Jerry Collins. 5-yard touchdown run will cap a 5-play, 27-yard drive, and Penn State leads BYU 17-7. And what about this score? Utah leads Oregon 24-3 in the second quarter. Let's go back to Keith.
Oh boy, this has been a rough day for a lot of unexpected folk. Bino Bryant steps up now into slot.
Here they come.
Trips, blitz on, pass high. He had Bailey. Bailey was in front of Tyrone Bird, and Hobart missed him, and he's now 10 of his last 12.
Just overthrew it. Nebraska coming out of their conservative bend but don't break zone defense, came up, put some pressure on him. Hobart saw it in his anxiousness to complete the pass, just overthrew it.
Ball is resting at the 26-yard line, where it is 3rd down and 7 for the Huskies. And again, they've got 3 wideouts up there. Hobart passes away, and he missed it. The last 2 passes were not very well thrown. Gaspard appeared to be the man in front of Wilhite. But again, a trailing wind sometimes can cause you just as much trouble as throwing into it.
And there was good coverage, Keith. The Nebraska secondary with good coverage, close man-to-man, and there was really nobody open downfield.
So Travis Hansen is in to try a 43-yard field goal. The field goal tries and the extra points have been an adventure tonight for Washington. They get it down this time, and Hansen nails it right down the highway. At 12:27 to go in the 3rd quarter, it is now a 14-9 ball game. Still Nebraska. Is putting it down on the tee to kick it off. Tyrone Jones and Nate Turner deep to receive it. Hughes is 33 and Turner is 22. And somebody's going to have to hold that thing because the wind keeps blowing it off the tee, and Mario Bailey comes up to do it. I don't know if it's Bailey or Hall. Somebody's holding it. That should go to the end zone and beyond. It goes back into the middle of the end zone, and Hughes will not return it. And Nebraska will bring it out first down at the 20. Travis Hansen is holding his back as he goes back to get the tee. Let's see what happens to him when he comes off. And he looks all right now. He was holding his back. All right, here comes Nebraska. McCann. Brown is the I-back. Lance Lewis is the fullback. Pitch it out to Brown. Coverage was there, but Delele missed the tackle. Delele had him in his sights, number 8, and Paxton just simply missed him as the elusive Derek Brown turned upfield. And he made something out of that play. He made 6 yards. They are working on the Washington place kicker, Travis Hansen. He did something to his back. McCann turns it to Brown again, and boom. How do you do, Messrs. Empman and Rogers? Tyrone Rogers, the middle guard for the Washington Huskies, played against Nebraska as an Oklahoma Sooner down in Norman in 1988.
Third down, 4.
Nebraska's offense opens with Scott at center, Jensen and Shields the guards, Wiegert and Borboom the tackle. Tight end is Mitchell, and he's been quiet. The rest of it we gave you. McCann back. Throws it underneath for a screen. He's got 2 blockers in front and gets a first down and gets a big play all the way to the 45-yard line.
Nice call by Tom Osborne. It works against zone, but not against man-to-man because the man is up there in his face. But this time, Washington dropped off in a zone. There's Hoffman out there against the screen. That's Jensen, number 69, with a nice block and a first down.
McCann throwing on the run just beyond the reaching hands of Hughes. Incomplete. Here's Roger again.
Thank you very much, Keith. Georgia at Alabama. And Saren Stacy will go around the left side, 4 yards in the touchdown run. It was set up by Stacy's 20-yard run 2 plays earlier. 7-0 Alabama in the 4th. And in Baton Rouge right now, Vanderbilt leads LSU 14-13. Let's go back to Keith and Lincoln.
It is not a happy time right now in Baton Rouge, the town of the Red Stick. McCann under pressure, throws it away.
The offensive leaders first half. McCann was a 7 of 11 for 104 yards. Pretty good for a non-passing quarterback. Brown led the rushers. Bostic with 3 receptions and a touchdown. Defensively for Washington, Hoffman led in tackles. Hill had the 1 interception, and Entman was right there also. He pressured McCann on that last screen pass.
Chico Fraley's been kind of quiet tonight. We haven't heard much from him. Hillary Butler's been playing some in Chico's place, but Chico's back in there now at linebacker for Washington. This is Brown. He ran right through a tackle. Rogers had a piece of him, but couldn't hold him. And so he goes from no gain to about 8 yards because he broke Rogers' tackle. From La Habra, California. It's an incredible thing to me that Californians go all over the country to play, and so many of them keep being told they can't go to school at certain universities in California. Stiggy is in to punt. He's had a pretty good night in this windy night. That's another fairly good kick under extreme pressure. And he gets that knuckleball floating around, and it's fair caught at the 21-yard line. 5-point lead for the Cornhuskers. There was into a 30-mile-an-hour wind. Travis Hansen had a slight muscle spasm on the right side of his back as he came off the field, and they've apparently rubbed it out, and he's okay as the Huskies come up. First down at their own 21. They trail 14-9 to the home team, and Vino Bryant will pick up a couple of yards, and that's all as the defensive right side Now that Nebraska line just zeroed in on him. The backers, Anderson and White, did most of the damage to him. LSU has come back to lead Vandy 16-14 in the fourth quarter in an SEC game. But there were indeed some surprises today.
Second down, Nebraska goes to their nickel package. 4 down linemen and 6 defensive backs.
And they run it with Pino Bryant. And he crosses the 30. And they'll be looking at 3rd down and short. Again, Bryant was just a whisker from popping out of there for a big gain. He's got 82 yards on the night on 10 carries.
I see a late substitution. Nebraska trying to get their regular base defense in.
Huskies Matt Jones wedges ahead for the 1st down. I don't know if they had 10 on or not, but they got enough in there to hold that play. But not until Jones, with a surge behind Malamala and Caligas, was able to get the 1st down. I think.
Well, that's the problem when you switch from one type of defense to the other. They were trying to get out of their nickel package back into their base defense, and they were disorganized. To give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, a little fly pattern down the field would have been worth something there, wouldn't it? They were squawking at George Perlis today too at Notre Dame for what he was running his defenses.
Well, the one time I saw, it looked like he was debating whether or not to go for it on 4th down, and he says, "Oh no, we can't." So he put the guy in there to punt, and they were squawking about that. That looked like an honest thing.
On 1st down and 10 for the Huskies, they put Bryant in motion, which means pass because Hobart doesn't have anybody behind him. His pass is off. The intended receiver, Gaspard, is on the ground. He's over there with Curtis Cotton, and he fell down. So that's an incomplete forward pass. And the game summary reads this way. As you see the score at the top, you see where Washington has made its mistakes, and that Nebraska's passing game has been pretty good tonight. Derek Brown, the I-back for the Cornhuskers, and Pino Bryant, the tailback for Washington, both having big nights. Jay Barry is now in at tailback for Washington. Hobart takes it out of his belly, throws it down the middle of the field, and Orlando McKay was the man for whom it was intended. He had double coverage, and Billy Joe was on his back.
Well, the reason Billy Joe was on his back because they had their nickel package in again, putting some pressure on him up front. Anytime they think they're going to pass, they're coming with it. Check out these 2 defensive linemen right here. They're going to crisscross. And 90 is going to be more that's going to come around and put some pressure on the quarterback. 90 is more at 6'6". Don't give the quarterback time to look downfield.
3rd and 10. Pass was tipped, I think, at the line of scrimmage. I think somebody got a hand on it. It might have been Engelbert, but the ball fluttered down in the vicinity of Gaspard, incomplete, and it is 4th down.
Should have hit him. He had him open.
So the Huskies have to give it up with Hughes and Dixon deep. Dixon is 1 and Hughes 33. Dixon's a redshirt freshman, a real burner from Dallas. Hobart doing the punting, kicks it to Dixon at the 25. He gets a crack, look out. Doug gets into a little head-button gig up there, and he loses as he goes down very hard at the 44-yard line. 43-yard spot, but a 19-yard return.
We invested $100 million.
Over the last 23 seasons, Nebraska has been in the AP top 20. Look at this, 267 out of 281 weeks. Do you know how long that is?
Is that unbelievable or what?
Ooh. There's the man that's done it.
And this man is hearing some rumblings from the fans in the area about...
He spoiled them.
Yeah, he's too boring. Wants some excitement.
McCant coming down the line on the option play. Turns the corner. Penalty flag goes down, and number 39, Chico Fraley, is in his hip pocket and rides him down. Procedure call against the Cornhuskers.
Illegal procedure.
Nebraska has stopped its JV schedule after 35 years, playing 5 games normally. But they've had to give it up. Lack of opposition and cost.
He had a scrimmage out here yesterday afternoon. Take a look at how close this huddle is. About 3 steps away from the line of scrimmage. They do that every time. I think it's just to save the distance that the offensive line has to travel. They don't want them to lose any weight. They've bulked them up. Now they don't want to run them too much.
Well, that's Boyd Epler's philosophy, is to bulk them up. You go out and try running 5 miles. You're just defeating your purpose.
Yeah.
You want explosiveness. That's against the Cornhuskers.
Well, they have. The offensive line from last year, has added 23 pounds on the average per man, and has increased their strength about 43 pounds. So Nebraska, one of the leaders in the country, probably, well, I know they have the biggest weight room. That thing is what, 30,000 square feet?
It's big.
Here's a look at a rushing comparison.
I just walked through it yesterday and felt better.
Yeah.
Phil Ziegelbein moved the ball on an illegal snap that caused that procedure penalty. There's a pitch back to the I-back. And that's pretty good pursuit right there on Derek Brown by Dave Hoffman, because Brown had some daylight in front of him. And he was cranking up the burners to get to it, and Hoffman knocked him down.
It was an interesting graphic that Washington has outrushed Nebraska. There's a look at Hoffman, 54, the leading tackler from last year.
He's a good one. Second down, 15. McCant squares his shoulders and throws, and that's a dandy catch by Abdul Muhammad, the wingback, a true freshman from Compton, California. He's another speedster. He is a true freshman, one of 3 on the roster. Those van carrying 7 Washington freshmen home for a 3-day weekend had a wreck on Thursday night, I guess it was. Scared everybody to death. Only one apparently seriously injured, that being Richard Washington. He's got to have some surgery. McCant turns upfield, looked for his man. His intended receiver, Hughes, had stopped. And when McCant pulled the ball down, Donald Jones was right there. Jones plays what amounts to a defensive end position, though he's listed as an outside linebacker.
Exactly right, Keith. And one of the things that James said, we have to contain. Look at him right now. He's containing. He's going way outside, flips back to the inside. I mean, it was pretty wide, but he did force McCant to turn back up inside and finally made the tackle. Good play.
And that's 4 times now that he is, the quarterback has been stopped short of the line of scrimmage. 14-9 ball game. Nebraska leading. 4th down. They kick it away. Stiggy puts it up into he got some air under that baby. It's fumbled back on the 5-yard line by Bino Bryant. Nebraska is claiming they've got the ball. Hold the phone. Pretty good pushing and pulling match going on down at the bottom of that pile right now. Bryant will let that ball go.
The ball was free. Nebraska does have it.
1st and goal, Nebraska. 49-yard punt. Bryant doesn't handle it, and the Huskers get it.
Bino Bryant has caught a lot of these in his career. Now he fumbles it, takes his eye off of it. The wind probably had a factor in this. Now just get on the ball. Get on the ball. He's not on it yet. He's going to come out the bottom left of your screen. You may see it. You'll see it from this.
Mike Anderson's going to get it.
Yeah, it's going to come back out towards the back of his legs. It's going to slide outside.
On 1st and goal, the Cornhuskers. And Derek Brown, touchdown.
We talked about early in the ball game the offensive and defensive lines. Number 90, Epman, had a shot. That time the offensive line of the Cornhuskers won the battle, and a turnover turns into a touchdown in one play.
Bennett for the extra point. It's good. So the Washington Huskies, who live in the shadow of Mount Rainier, may be looking at a mountain about that size as they trail 21-9.
Well, here's another look. I think a better look at that fumble by Bryant. He's got plenty of time to fall on it. The defenders are 4 or 5 yards away. Look at him now. It just comes out. Now watch. Keep going. Keep running it. There at the end, the Nebraska player comes in from the right side.
Sanderson.
Yeah. You know, Washington, Keith, last year led the nation in turnover ratio. They took the ball away 23 more times than they gave it up. They lose this ball game, it'll probably be because of turnovers. That's the third one on the night and the second one that's turned into a touchdown.
Well, it was poor judgment, I think, to try to take it on the 5-yard line, isn't it?
But normally, if you're inside the 10-yard line,
let it go.
You let it go. I think the one that he kicked down here earlier in the game, where it ended up on the 2-yard line, was in his mind. Yeah.
Napoleon Kaufman is in the ball game now with Walter Bailey to return this kick. He's a true freshman and a flyer, but it is Bailey. And he gets it out to about the 25-yard line. ABC's NFL presentation on Monday night will be from Soldier Field in Chicago with the New York Jets. All right, Jones comes out, Gaspard goes in, and let's see, do we get Kaufman? No, he's out of there. Bryant comes back at tailback. So Bailey, McKay, and Gaspard are your trips to the bottom of the picture. Crowd coming up chanting defense, defense, defense. Give it to Pino Bryant. And Bryant works his way through some heavy traffic and picks up about 3 yards.
Well, you heard the crowd coming up hollering defense, and they are really into this game. Take a look at this graphic. They're 26-2 in the last 5 years and won by an average of 33 points.
Second down and 7. Hobart has got some room to run, throws, and gets his first down. The pass is caught up across the 45-yard line. He was pretty close to crossing the line of scrimmage, but it was a good play.
Go back and take another look at that. Look at the whites of his eyes. Didn't look it in.
Nope.
Didn't look it in.
Looking for a hole to run. First down, Washington, just over their own 45. Hand it to the up man, Jones, and Jones is across midfield to near the Cornhusker 48. He's the 215-pound sophomore from Portland and playing well tonight. Darius Turner, who had been ticketed as the starter at fullback, not been able to play so far this year because of back trouble. Time winding along at 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, and Nebraska leading 21-9. They haven't announced the attendances yet. I wouldn't be surprised if we're not close to a record. I don't think there's an inch of space available.
Blitzen.
And Bryant bounces off one Nebraska man and bounces for about 5 or 6 yards before they're bringing down.
No, he did not. No. Here's a look at the top 10. Top 3 were idle. Washington is in jeopardy of losing their ranking. Florida already lost to Syracuse. Tennessee barely won. Oklahoma and Clemson win. Nebraska is number 9 in winning, and if they stay that way, they'll move up.
First down for the Huskies. Little throw underneath after bad pass. He threw it behind Bino Bryant. Bryant was slanting in just behind the line of scrimmage, and Hobart threw a poor pass. But this will go in the books as the 178th home stadium sellout. The seating capacity is 73,650. But the record average for the season was 76,342. And they're just short of it, 76,304.
I think they're making more noise than they've ever made, Bill.
I think you're right. Tailback Bryant again. And he gets into the traffic, and there he has Mr. Engelbert and company to deal with. And his gain is about 5.
It's a shot of last year's starter who took him to the Rose Bowl, recovering from knee surgery. No way they'll put him in this ball game. He's 2 or 3 games away at best. He just started practicing with the team.
Incredible recovery, though.
Unbelievable.
Just incredible. Jay Barry in a tailback now. 3rd down and 5. Hobart's pass is away. Bailey has it. Bailey has the 1st down. He's brought down by Tyrone Bird. That's quite a track meet when those 2 corners and those of Nebraska and those 2 wideouts get going downfield.
Well, here's Bailey here, and the other 2 receivers are just going to run off. He's just going to go down, make the 1st down, and break to the outside. Comes in motion. He gets inside. Now he gets a lot of room to the outside to run and just barely picks up the 1st down. Big series for Washington.
That's Orlando McKay trying to set up a screen for him. And Nebraska read it perfectly and just ate him up. Darren Williams, a sophomore inside linebacker from Chicago. There he is. He's a load.
Again, uncovered. Little quick screen. You see 75 Kennedy coming out. They like this Williams, Keith. 98. They think he is really going to be a star here.
Gosh, he weighs 250 pounds. He's still growing.
Back up inside linebacker. He's going to be good.
That one's going to the end zone. Bryant running under it. And it is incomplete. The coverage by Steve Carmer, who is from Oahu, Nebraska. Minute 43 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And still a 12-point lead. And there's Baylor winning one reasonably comfortably. Alabama out 10-0 now. Alabama lost to Florida last week. Florida went to Syracuse, got beat today. California leads Arizona. Golden Bears are pretty good. They're worth a look. They might be the 2nd-best team in the country.
They can throw it.
And they even believe they're the 1st best. Billy Joe's got a man. Touchdown. Orlando McKay, and a penalty flag back up at the line of scrimmage. Hold of the phone.
A bad area for the Husky fans. That's usually holding.
What it is? No touchdown.
Penalties are killing Don James and the Huskies. They had over 70 yards in penalties already. Nebraska was in an all-out blitz. Man-to-man coverage in the secondary. They picked it up. Hobart found the man. Look at the bottom of your screen. Let's see if we can pick it up. Number 34. I can't tell from that picture, but shot of the blitz being picked up, but I don't think that was it on the outside.
6 penalties for 71 yards on the Huskies. Wipes out a touchdown. Hobart, he's watched out of the pocket. Dives for the 30-yard line. And they'll mark him just short of it. With the clock running at 1:20 to go in the 3rd period. Boy, that was a big touchdown to lose, because that would have tightened everybody's belt a little bit. Not to mention chin straps.
And James knows that when you're on the road, a hostile crowd against a tough opponent, you cannot hurt yourself. Penalties, interceptions, fumbles.
They're going to go. on 4th down.
4th and about, what, 9, 8 or 9?
8. McKay's got it. And he's got a first down at the Cornhusker 15-yard line. Hobart's hot now. You see how thick his neck is? I mean, he's burning.
Watch the middle receiver. Number 4 is McKay. He's just going to let the inside receiver clear, come to the inside, man-to-man coverage. Big-time throw and a good catch.
That play has been there virtually all night long. Hasn't always worked because at times the coverage has been exceptional. At times they just simply haven't made the play. Bryant is back at tailback. First down at Nebraska's 15-yard line. Give it to Bryant. He splits him and scores. Touchdown. So they get it anyway. And as we wind down to the end of the 3rd quarter, we have a ball game that is still very much a contest.
Watch the blocking here, the center. That's Cunningham who's going to block the man over. There's going to be a huge hole right up the center of the offensive line. We talked about the battle of the line of scrimmage. The big uglies, Keith, if you will.
Yes, sir.
At time won by... That's a good touchdown for Washington. Big character builder.
Bryant's gone over 100 yards. He's got 112 now on 14 carries as Hansen knocks the extra point through there. And the score is now 21-16. And here's Jackaroo.
Keith, you were talking upstairs about the situation with the weight room here. The strength and conditioning room is 30,000 square feet, as we said, and it's a state-of-the-art facility. And it says by many, one of the reasons why the average offensive line weight gain this year has been 23.4 pounds. Another reason is Boyd Epley, who is the head of this strength and conditioning facility. He has changed over from an aerobic training method to an anaerobic training method. Now the difference, aerobic builds endurance. Anaerobic actually concentrates upon power in a short-term period. Now what he's done is he's produced this power for those offensive linemen in short spurts by combining endurance, heavy weightlifting, and a diet combined of high calories and low fat. He says that those are the primary reasons why the offensive linemen have been able to make such massive weight gains since this time last year.
All right, Jack, thank you. That's quite a program. All right, the Huskers are back in the hunt at 21-16. Save your energy, guys. You'll need it.
Tell you what, Don James showed me something, going for it on 4th and 8 or 9, making it.
Long kick to the end zone. Hughes backs up. No return by Tyrone. Remember that Nebraska now is going to have the wind at their back in the 4th quarter. And right about in here, it becomes a contest of a lot of things. It becomes, first off, a contest of skill, obviously. But somewhere down the road, it develops into discipline. It develops into something called will, that little intangible. Who wants it the most?
That is so true, Keith, and the advantage has to go to Nebraska, playing at home in front of their fans.
Keithan McCant played well tonight. Gives it to Derek Brown, and the I-back picks up 7 yards before they can bring him down. And the big guys for Washington have gone just about all the way in the defensive front. There's a little fervor around here tonight.
This almost reminds me of Monday Night Football, the way the fans waited around all day to get to this ball game. They're fired up.
We'll be back with more action in our ball game between the Huskies and Huskers after this message and a word from our ABC station. As we go into the final quarter of play. Ball is at the 27-yard line for Nebraska, 2nd down and 3, and they're operating out of a power I. The I-back, Derek Brown, surging ahead, and he's short of the first down. He's going to need the better part of 2 yards on 3rd down. There's the Cornhusker. Kirby is called. Keithan McCant gives it on the option to Derek Brown, and what a blow he took. Who's in the bottom of that? Chico
Fraley was right out there with him.
And he didn't get the first down. It looked like he was a cinch.
Take a look at this. 9 guys at the line of scrimmage. Fraley is right here. Watch him run out and make the play. He runs. Good speed. Gets blocked, but gets up. Makes the initial hit. Pauakoa is there. That's a big play.
Pauakoa got him high. So it's 4th down. And Sticky's in the field. Obviously. But somewhere down the road, it develops into discipline. It develops into something called will. That little intangible. Who wants it the most?
That is so true, Keith. And the advantage has to go to Nebraska, playing at home in front of their fans.
Keithan McCant played well tonight. Gives it to Derek Brown. And the I-back picks up 7 yards before they can bring him down. And the big guys for Washington have gone just about all the way in the defensive front. There's a little fervor around here tonight.
This almost reminds me of Monday Night Football, the way the fans waited around all day to get to this ball game. They're fired up.
We'll be back with more action in our ball game between the Huskies and Huskers after this message and a word from our ABC station. A 5-point difference in the ball game as we go into the final quarter of play. Ball is at the 27-yard line for Nebraska, 2nd down and 3, and they're operating out of a power I. The I-back, Derek Brown, surging ahead, and he's short of the first down. He's going to need the better part of 2 yards on 3rd down. There's the Cornhusker. Kirby is called. Keithan McCant gives it on the option to Derek Brown, and what a blow he took. Who's in the bottom of that? Chico
Fraley was right out there with him.
And he didn't get the first down. It looked like he was a cinch.
Take a look at this. 9 guys at the line of scrimmage. Fraley is right here. Watch him run out and make the play. He runs. Good speed. Gets blocked, but gets up. Makes the initial hit. Pauakoa is there. That's a big play.
Pauakoa got him high. So it's 4th down. And Sticky's in to punt. Wins at his back. Didn't get all of it. Still a good kick. Bryant at the 30 and down at the 31. So Washington first down at their own 31. Nebraska leading by 5. Nebraska leading by 5 as the Washington Huskies come up to the line of scrimmage just short of their own 32-yard line. First down. And for those of you who have been watching BYU and Penn State, that score incidentally 27-7 Penn State. We are in a 5-point ball game with 13:39 to play. Washington goes to the tight end Aaron Pierce, and Pierce is across midfield. First down, Washington at the Nebraska 47-yard line. Number 4 Washington versus number 9 Nebraska.
Tight end Reese and straight up the field. Good protection for Hobart. Throws it over the linebackers before the safety. Bird gets there. That's an outstanding throw for a kid starting his 2nd collegiate game.
Hobart is now 20 out of 36 for 251 yards. Nebraska has led all the way in this ball game. Dino Bryant, the tailback, is brought down after a yard pickup. This is how the scoring has happened in the ball game. Nebraska to the lead on Derek Brown's 27-yard touchdown run. Nebraska dominated the first quarter. Washington dominated the second quarter, but only got 6 points, missing the extra point. And Washington dominated the play in the third quarter as well, but they only got 3 points out of that, and Nebraska got a touchdown to lead 21-9, and now it is 21-16 as the Huskies responded in the closing seconds of the third quarter. And down the middle, the pass is caught by Matt Jones, and a first down for Washington at Nebraska's 25-yard line. And now the Huskies are moving in big chunks of real estate.
Here's Jones right here. He's just going to jump inside the linebacker, go straight up the field. He spread him wide, man-to-man on the outside linebacker. That's Travis Hill, number 93, and an excellent throw. I mean, throwing into a wind.
That's Tyrone Leggett leaving the field, a cornerback for Nebraska. Played an outstanding ball game, and he's out of there. And the Nebraska crowd of some 76,304 has suddenly gotten quiet. Now they wake up a little bit, calling for defense. Washington gobbling up the yardage all of a sudden. Bryant working in the middle, pops out of there. Vito Bryant inside the 10. First down, Huskies at the Husker 8-yard line. All of a sudden, Washington's offense just exploded down the field.
It's the offensive line that is dominating the Nebraska line now. Pass protection and opening the holes. Holbert is throwing the ball magnificently, and the offensive line is opening the holes for the running game.
Bryant is the one back in the Washington set with trips at the top of the picture. Ball rolling around on the ground, and the Huskies keep it as Aaron Pierce, the tight end, came back to get it. And Washington dodges a bullet. Turnovers have plagued them all night long.
Second down, 8.
He never got that ball. That ball was snapped into his leg. They watered this field down for our new viewers. They watered this field down early in the ball game, or before the ball game, as you see Pierce jump on the football to help the traction of it. It is wet on the field. It has not rained here. They do that every game.
Bryant is out now. Jones is back in, and Billy Joe Hobart throws it down the middle. Touchdown, Orlando McKay. And Washington has the lead for the first time tonight. The house of red grows quiet. Looks like they'll go for 2.
But right here is the man is going to go right down in the middle of the field. Now watch as he throws the ball right in the center of the defense, and nobody reacts to the football. Hobart reads him all the way, and the Nebraska player just standing around.
McKay has had a huge night. Jones, Barry, Johnson in the backfield. They're going for 2. A little fade to the corner. They rule him out of bounds.
Dropped the ball, Keith. Maybe both.
He got lost. I couldn't see him in the shadows over there, but it doesn't work, and it's a 1-point ball game. He's up. He's in. He's out. Where's the ball?
His foot is in.
Oh, he was in.
Yeah.
Look.
You don't know whether he was juggling it or not, but
he obviously didn't have control of it because they waved it off immediately.
As we approach the 1992 Olympic Games, many are...
Time remaining is going to get more important as we wind along. 10 minutes now coming up. Barry's in the backfield. Hobart keeps it, throws it underneath. No good. Intended for Jones. The ball is underthrown. And you got a penalty flag thrown on the other side, and it comes late. Well, that might be the old personal foul sort of a thing.
Dead ball. Personal foul.
On Washington. Obviously something going on beyond the location of the ball. The Atlanta Braves shut out Los Angeles last night, leading 1-0 tonight in the 4th inning. They lead the National League West by half game. It's going to be 3rd down now. Out, or he's out. He is out of the game. I don't know who the personal foul was on, but there was a minor altercation, I guess, after the play. Ball has come back to the 42-yard line. Andrew Peterson is in at the weak guard position. Barry and Jones behind Billy Joe Hobart. He pumps it up and lets it go for McKay, and McKay is mugged down at the 5-yard line. It'll be first down for Washington. It's a 15-yard penalty. Kenny Wilhite was a half a step out of the play, and he goes right up his back right here, and the flag came flying out.
I don't know. That's pretty close, huh? I think he did get him. He did get
position.
him.
It's position.
I don't know, Keith. I'd like to see that one more time. Looked like he got there the same time the ball. The ball was underthrown. If it had been out a little bit further, it would have been easy 6.
3rd down.
Well, that evens it up, huh? First down, Washington.
First down.
Turns in a 2nd and long situation into a 1st down.
The way the foot speed these guys have,
looks to me like he was hitting
got
him.
no chance to get out there and see him.
He was hitting him just the same time the ball got to him.
This is Barry. And Barry is rolled back by Big Darren Williams.
Let's take a look at it one more time.
Looking at it from where I'm sitting, though, as it was happening, it looked, see, he's got a hold of him there.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. He's got his hand up his back.
Well, if he had his hand on his back, okay, but it... Well, run it back, just...
Oh, well, whatever,
if
guys.
his right hand, the official is right. If his right hand is on that helmet, it's a foul, and it's a good call. The guy was there.
Game is down to the 20-yard line.
Give him the credit.
Matt Jones carried it in 9 minutes to play in the ball game.
By Jones. The tackle by 92, Perella, 97.
These guys run so fast, you need a motor scooter to keep up with them.
That's a good point. That's why it's so important that these officials are in right, proper position. That's why they went to 7 officials.
Total yards for Washington now, 507, but they only lead by 1 point. Trying to help themselves here, and they're making mistakes. Underneath Pierce, the tight end, and he's got the first down inside the Nebraska 15-yard line. David White playing very good defense against him, but Pierce just outsized him.
1st and 10. The ball is on the 14-yard.
It's been all Washington for the last, well, the 3rd quarter, and as you mentioned, even into the 2nd quarter, Keith.
Oregon State 17, Western State 14.
But there's a lot of grit in those guys wearing red and white. Pitch to Vino Bryant. Finds a crack. Woof. That's a lick. Mike Anderson. Mike Anderson. Anderson 48 and Will Williams 98. And Mike is 230 and Williams 250. That's a couple of big inside backers. Bryant with 18 carries and 140 yards. He's out, Barry's in.
Look at the yardage in the 2nd half for Washington. 245 to only 46 for Nebraska.
Barry, little change of direction, button heads inside the 3-yard line, where it'll be first down and goal, Washington. You've got 7:41 to play in the game. And now Charlie McBride sends in his goal line defense.
On the 3-yard.
And the Huskies are camped on the 3.
1st and 3.
Timeout, Nebraska. They didn't have all the people out there that they wanted. 7:31 to go. Washington threatening. Back with more after a word from our ABC station.
Tomorrow it's pick and roll. Get it? Pick the funniest guy in the NBA.
Foul shot.
And roll with left.
At the Nebraska 3-yard line. Hobart keeps Gets it. Touchdown, Washington. In the second half, Washington has 15 first downs to 1 for Nebraska. Washington has 40 plays to 15, 263 yards to 46, and they have taken the lead 28 to 21 as Hobart takes it in for his second touchdown of the night. The extra point try by Hansen now out of Bjornson's hold. Is good. An 8-point lead. The big play at this juncture of the ball game, well, it's got to be this, and it belongs to Don James because he called it.
Well, it was 4th and about 9 yards to go. It was right after the touchdown had been called back. He went for it. 4th and 9. This is McKay on a little slant, out and in route. Picks up the first down, and the next play, they scored, and they've been scored touchdowns ever since.
And they came right back in their next possession and just went right down the field.
There's been a bunch of big plays in this game, but I think that play right there, coming back after the touchdown had just been taken away from him by a holding penalty, and then coming back on 4th down and then scoring, that has to be the key play.
It is now 29 to 21, Washington. Hansen will kick off into the wind. The receivers for Nebraska are standing up on their 10. Last time Hansen didn't get much on it. This time he knocks it on the ground down. It's rolling around, and it's finally picked up at the 30 and brought back by Tom Yonk to the 35-yard line.
Well, if you're Tom Osborne now, you've used a lot of quarterbacks in the last 4 or 5 games going back to last year. Who do you stay with? Who do you go with?
He's got McCann out there. So Keithan McCann comes back onto the field and will go to work in this possession from the Nebraska 35-yard line with Calvin Jones, the I-back. McCann throws off the hand of Calvin Jones, incomplete. And number 13 for Washington, Andy Mason, came roaring in and decked the Nebraska quarterback.
McCann is a 5th-year senior who had only played 3 plays before this year. He was never an option quarterback in high school, and I think that's what really slowed him down. He is probably the best athlete, pure passer and runner of all of the quarterbacks, and I think that's why Osborne has gone to him in the third game of the year.
McCann back again. Again throws for Jones, and again it's off Jones' hands, incomplete. And both of those balls thrown by McCann could have been handled quite easily by Jones, except they were not.
Jones is a running back, and the Nebraska running backs don't get the ball thrown at them very often. 11 times last year they caught the ball, and only 5 times the year before did running backs from the University of Nebraska catch the football.
Bostic scored on a 42-yard pass play from McCann. He hasn't seen the ball in a while. Extreme pressure by Washington. Tommy Smith, Hillary Butler, and Donald Jones, and it was Jones and Butler climbing all over.
That's the pressure defense. Yeah, that's the pressure defense.
Brett Collins is the man shaken up.
Take a look right here. These guys at the line of scrimmage, you see these people lined up man to man. These people are going to be coming, putting pressure on the quarterback. He's not going to have time to look around. Everybody lines up, becomes clean inside. Yeah, it was not McCann's fault. 2 plays, he hit the receiver right in the hands, and in the third one, he was blitzed.
This will be the 9th punt of the ball game by Mike Stiggy. He didn't punt at all in the first 2 games, but he sure made up for it tonight. What was it Bo said earlier today? Oh, they'll punt today.
I guarantee you.
Bryant almost dropped that one. I mean, Stiggy has a great leg, and he knocked that thing a mile high, and Vino almost dropped it. At 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific time next Saturday, one of the big ball games of the season. Florida State #1, Michigan #3. It comes from Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. And then we go regional at 3:30 at 12:30 Pacific. Our regional games, Georgia Tech, Clemson, Colorado, Stanford, Pitt, Minnesota. Check your local listing next Saturday here on ABC. First down, Washington, they're 21. Huskers have got to play some reckless defense now. Bryant looking around, tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, and number 97, Pat Engelbert, was on the ground, but he got him with a dangling leg. Penn State has defeated 3-7 at Happy Valley in Pennsylvania. Bino Bryant was hit on the leg and comes out.
Second down.
Looked like he took a whack on the shin bone, I think.
He had a banged up knee in the fall, and a lot in the first game.
Ball is at the 20. Loss of a yard on the play. Second down, 11. This is Barry trying to get outside and can't do it. So that's a loss of another yard as Mike Petco fought his way inside to get a piece of him and brought him down.
There's no quit in these Huskers, that's for sure. The Huskies better continue to try to make first downs. They don't need any more points at this time. They just need to make some first downs and take some time off the clock. Remember, the wind is still at the back of the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Clock running at 6 minutes to play, and it is third down and 12 for Washington. Nebraska's packed in there pretty tight, but Washington stays on the ground, and this is Barry getting outside. Oh, he's gone. There isn't anybody around him if he can outrun one man, and it's touchdown Washington, and the door just slammed. 81-yard run. Mike Anderson was the only man that had a chance to run him down, and a linebacker's not going to run down a tailback very often. And that thumping sound was the door slamming. 81-yard run by Jay Barry.
And Washington has scored on their last 4 possessions in the second half.
The
35-21. And Travis Hampson trying to make it 36 right here. Yep. You've got 5:36 to play in the game.
Take a look at the battle up front. We said that whoever controlled the line of scrimmage, just straight block and nothing big. That's Travis Hill, 93. He's trying to be walled off, and then Barry goes around him. He's going to win that battle with Raymakers every time, number 67. And Barry has enough speed to outrun everybody.
The only man was 48. That's Mike Anderson. And they're having to pressure, having to gamble, and they got burned.
Third down and long, a draw play. He gets outside, and he just does this on his own. That's Carmer, number 31, who really should have made the play and didn't. Carmer starting this year for the first time at strong safety. Really should have made the play, but what has changed, Keith? What happened? In the first half, it was all Nebraska dominating, especially in the first quarter. You know, what I think has happened is that it took Washington a little while to settle down. This crowd was really into it. It took them a little while to settle down, and they've shown their dominance ever since.
Hughes picks it up at the 3, and he's taken down at the 15. So there, Nebraska will go to work at 5 minutes and 32 seconds to play in the ball game. 36-21. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns for Washington. 4 in a row. I don't know. Do you say that it's conditioning?
No, I don't think it's conditioning.
I don't either.
I think Washington came in here. The crowd was into the game. I think they've just settled down, and they've gotten.
Impman buries McCann.
I mean, we've seen Washington play last year, and we saw them in the first ball game. This is the way they normally play. They can be a dominant team.
We also saw Washington cave in at home against a beat-up UCLA team last November that cost them a chance at a national championship. And they have vowed not to let it happen again, and they put in, as they say, the extra day in the weight room. But look at the second half.
Take a look at this.
That dominant amount.
Number of plays, 44-19, and yards, tremendous. First downs, 16-1.
That's good to Bostic, and Bostic beats the defender out of bounds beyond the marker, and it's first down from Nebraska. There's still time. The wind's at their back. 4:50 to play. One big play, a touchdown, and they're back in it.
This is really not the type of offense, though, that you're going to come from behind with very well. I mean, for Osborne's offense and the quarterbacks that he has, the type of throwing they do, they're not good drop-back passers. They need the running game, the threat of the running game. The pass feeds off the run. Not when you're 15 points down. You have to throw.
Huskies got 8 guys up there on the line of scrimmage. That ball is batted away just barely by Dana Hall. He got just enough of it to slap it down. It was intended for Nate Turner. But there was an instance. If the ball is a foot higher, Turner's got 6 points.
You are right. It was there. And Hall made a nice play. For those who joined us late, Hall injured early in the ball game, hurt some ribs, put on a flak jacket, and is back out there playing. Those ribs have got to be hurting, too.
And they're going home right after the game. McCann throws, that slipped away. Very easily could have been picked off and gone 6 points the other way by Tommy Smith.
When Nebraska is down by 15 points and has to throw, they are not a very good offensive team.
And the clock shows 4:40 on 3rd down and 10. McCann with very good protection delivers it to the I-back Derek Brown, and Brown is close to a first down.
Tackle by 53 Smith and 3 Fields.
Well, they're going right to left, so that means the linesman on this side marked it with his left foot, because you always mark it with the upfield foot, right? And that'll be close. Hurt on the play is Derek Brown. Hobbling about. First down for the Cornhuskers.
And I guess the Dowers will come back out. We said earlier, the Cornhuskers have lost 5 of the last 6 bowl games and 8 of the last 12 to teams with winning records.
Hit as he throws. That is an incomplete forward pass. His arm was definitely going forward. DeMarco Farr, sophomore out of San Pablo, California, hit him from the blind side. Number 75. He's a throwing boy at 265.
Second down, ball on the 37-yard line.
Luke Blue Devils have scored a lot of points early season here. Houston took another licking today. Illinois, Verduzco a big day. Dunbar had a big ball game. I watched some of that.
Ed Verduzco is something else, isn't he? I mean, that kid is just all grit.
Yep.
He is a tough kid. Forget about his size.
McCann gets his ball away, but it's too high. Thrown into the sidelines and incomplete, intended for John Bostic. That stops your clock at 4:13 to play in a ball game. 36-21. Washington taking over. Actually, Olmo changed shirts before the halftime, and it really didn't change. Even though Nebraska went back to a 12-point lead, Washington was still marching up and down the field. This is Jones. Melvin Jones, brought down by Tommy Smith, but he picks up a Nebraska first down. Washington 49-yard line, and 4:06 to play. Fat lady ain't sung yet.
There's no quit in the Cornhuskers, I can assure you of that. Scored an onside kick.
Long downfield, just beyond the arms of Bostic. That was a play down the left corner, that in and out. Actually, that was just a fly on the sidelines. He couldn't run it down. There was one of the big surprises of the day, as Arizona State defeats Southern California in Los Angeles, 32-25. You can see they did it on the ground. California by 10 over Arizona in the second quarter. McCant throw it again. Got a man over there. Pass is good to Tyrone Hughes. And Hughes is out of bounds at the Washington 26. And you got 3:42 to play.
Washington defensively now is just being a little bit passive. They're going out of their style of being aggressive and blitzing. You don't. I would do the same thing. You're 15 points up. You don't want to give them any easy scores, but they scored. Kick an onside kick. They're back in the ball game.
Got it.
It may change right here. Screenplay.
Yep. Oh, almost intercepted by Chico Fraley. It was tipped, and Fraley on the run almost had it. And Fraley can run. He gets that. See you later. It'll be second down and 10. Atlanta still leading Los Angeles in the 5th inning, 1-0.
I tell you, Atlanta's got some pitching, don't they?
Youngsters too. Except for Charlie Liebrandt. Charlie's having a great year. That's the Ivac Jones. Here's what the two quarterbacks have done in our ball game.
Hobart started slowly, coming on for 283 yards. He scored a couple of touchdowns himself. McCant, 172 yards is probably a career number for him. But when the Nebraska quarterbacks throw that much, it's not good.
Nope. That's picked off. Dave Hoffman, the inside linebacker, dropping back on coverage, picks it off, runs like a fullback, and it's Washington ball, first down at their own 45-yard line.
Dave Hoffman, here he is right here. McCant's going to come back and try to hit the receiver over here, and as he looks over here, Hoffman is just going to slide over and pick off the pass by McCant. See, he looked all the way, Keith. That was good play by Hoffman. McCant looked to his left, looked for his receiver. The linebacker saw him looking there, slid over and made the play.
Eric Bjornsson is in, a redshirt freshman from Oakland, California. You would think he would be from Linden, but he's not. He's from California. Gives the ball to Napoleon Kaufman, the freshman out of Lompoc, 5'9", 170, a real burner, hard to get a hold of, a darting kind of a running back. A lot of people say he looks like Mike Garrett all over again. And they want to get him some playing time this season because he may be very important down the road. It was a year ago that Colorado came from behind to beat Nebraska here on this field. And since then, there's been a lot of grumbling about the Huskers not winning the big game because they went on to lose at the end of the season to Oklahoma and lose to Georgia Tech in the bowl game. And a lot of spoken, a lot of writing about it, a lot of talking about it in the media. Well, I brought it up yesterday in my conversation with Coach Tom Osborne, and this is what he had to say.
It is sometimes a little hard to understand where 9-3 really was viewed upon almost like like we were 3-9, and it maybe wasn't all that bad last year.
Well, the last time a team got 500 yards against Nebraska was Penn State when the Lions went for 515 in 1982. Washington so far today, with a minute and a half to play, has 609.
And the last time a back ran for more than 80 yards, Jay Berry had that 80-yard touchdown really iced it. The last time anybody ran for 80 yards against Nebraska, Keith, was Keith Jackson.
That's right.
Oklahoma tight end on a reverse back in 1985.
But the season is not over. The way this season is going, you might be able to win your national championship with a loss.
And if you're going to lose it early.
Lose early. Right. There's some movement. And that'll get flags out of the pocket. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara. Coordinating producer of ABC's college football, Bob Goodrich, who produced tonight's game. Our game tonight was directed by Monsieur Larry Cam. Our technical director, Gary Larkins. Associate producer for college football, Jim Ressler. Associate director, Patrick McManus. Unit manager, Joe Alvarado. Our tech ops, Sal Fong and Frank Fager. Assistants to the producer, Mitch Green, Steve Shunt. Stat man is Dave Burnson. Spotter is Todd Barry. Archimedo and Tim Goodman on the computers. Booth coordinator, Jenny Thompson. Sideline coordinator, Dick Shafter. Best dressed man in the booth is Bob Greasy. Jack Root's freezing to death down on the sidelines. And I'm Keith Jackson.
Did you mention Turry?
And that is Kaufman carrying the ball. She's sitting in the corner warm.
Yes, she is.
20 seconds to go. It is a huge win for Washington. It is a bitter loss for Nebraska. But it does not bring the walls tumbling down. I'll say it again. The clock ticking along. Hard to swallow for that man there. A fine, decent man and a very good coach. Great win for that coach, Don James.